the Truss Arena in Auckland, in West Auckland and Henderson, about to host the New Zealand 18s against the Australian Schoolboys. Second of two games. First one on Tuesday, Australia winning that 26 points to 18 in Rotorua. Wet night, that one. Significantly, though, only one player in the New Zealand team backing up from that game heading into this game. I'm told that the quality of player in this NZ18s team certainly exceeds what was available on Tuesday night. And traditionally, of course, the Australians have won this fixture. The last time the New Zealand 18s beat Australia in this fixture was back in 2013 in Whangarei. That was in the first of two games, and then the Australians won the second international a few days later. It was a close score, though, so a very good battle between the two teams in that particular year. Since then, the Australians have won each of the encounters. Oh, Monty Beetham's with me this morning. Going to be really interesting to see the hottest talent from both countries on display in this game.
It's always the yardstick for these young Kiwi internationals playing against the best in the world in Australia. They've been the way it has over a number of years. Your chance now to see what it's like, to see if you can take the initial steps to play for one, your country later on in life, but also make it in the NRL. Good chance for both these sides in front of the family and friends at home and on TV here and abroad in Fox TV.
Standing by now for the national anthems of both countries ahead of this very important fixture. Well, we're just standing by for the New Zealand national anthem. Match not too far away from starting between New Zealand 18s and the Australian Schoolboys. We're going to have a haka ahead of kick-off in just a few moments. Well, if that doesn't make the hairs on the back of your neck stick up, then nothing will. Wow.
Exciting, of course. Normally, you know, you got to stay on your way of the halfway line. They had clear intentions to go right up in the face, and the Kangaroos, the junior Australian Schoolboys, were there to meet them.
Shane Rem is the referee for this game. And we're all set to go. Dylan Tavita, in particular, the Warriors player, very fired up, wearing 7. One of 4 Warriors players in this side. And all 7 locally based players. And this is going to be a really interesting clash between the New Zealand 18s and the Australian Schoolboys here at Truss Arena. And we are underway, and it's going to be the Australians with the first possession in the game, and they come into this one with that 26-18 win behind them on Tuesday, and straight away there's a penalty for a high tackle.
Well, it's that emotion you've got to curb. Realise just finished the haka. They're excited. They want to get amongst it. They want to make their intentions clear, but you've got to be smart. You see him taking the ball up there. A little bit high, slipped off the shoulder a little, but still they find themselves getting some easy yards coming out the Australians.
So the Australians have the ball, and coming forward here is David for Fida.
That's tackle 1. Up now 4, with me 10.
No relation to his namesake or Andrew. And the Australians looking to run the ball early here, winning a spinning it fairly wide there as Lomax has taken right on the halfway line. Just slippery.
Don't lock him in.
Grass has been cut quite short here at Truss Arena for this game. Hope you're enjoying the coverage over the next couple of hours here on Sky Sport and in Fox Sport in Australia as well. Some very keen defence there on number 16, James Romanis, who's got the late call to start this game.
Hold, go 3.
Schneider at dummy half.
Outside 40.
And heading back to field this one is Hayes Perham here. Hayes Perham, who's going to be contracted to the Warriors for 2018 and will be spending a full off-season training with the first grade side. So there's a player to keep your eye on for the future. Hayes Perham, number 1.
2.
Running it up here is Matt Tomoko. He's hit solidly there. Very good tackle coming in from Fida.
4 now, move!
This is Hiroti, who played for the Australian Schoolboys last year. Of course, the lines have been blurred quite a bit, Monty, over the years, hasn't there, between representatives of both teams over the years. Of course, Benji Marshall was a representative of the Australian Schoolboys when he was in that age. There goes the kick from Tavita. It's got plenty of height on it. Coming forward to take it is Dylan Smith, and Smith is going to be tackled right on his own 30.
Well, you saw the Australians, what they try to do. They try to get out to the edge and play along the short sides. But for the Kiwis, it was straight up the middle, 1 out, but still very aggressive running, making some good inroads. Quality game, we're ready to start this, and we know it's going to be an arm wrestle.
Taking it forward here is Zeri Bronson. Zeri from the Sharks. Played SG ball, 11 games for them this season. Beaten finalists in that competition. Good tackle coming in from Tavita. That was an important tackle on the ranging Teague Wilton. And going with that kick is Lomax, but back in good position is Hayes Perham. And Perham comes forward again. He played for the Rotorua boys first 15 this year.
One, make the line.
But he's
Hold.
been picked up by the Warriors for 2018.
One.
He makes some good meters post-contact. He's got some good leg drive, very strong. Every time he's run the ball, he's been met with a number of defenders, but he makes that extra bit of yardage, which helps his boys out when you start the sets. Still coming straight up through the middle.
Weatherall number 4, interesting player, very close to making Manly's Holden Cup squad for the grand final against the Eels tomorrow, but didn't quite make it, so he's over here playing in this game for the NZ18 side. Here goes Fida, running it across to Jordan Reiki, Christchurch lad, off to the Broncos next season. What an opportunity for him. Turned down the opportunity to go for the Warriors, and that's a sloppy play, the ball, and it's going to be Australian possession. About 35 out from their own line as a shower sweeps across Trussarek.
Yeah, it's a shame. Just saying that it was pretty much an arm wrestle. They're getting into it. These early exchanges are going to be key to what happens. The weather comes down. Maybe that's why it's more off the foot rather than bobbling the ball with the hand on possession. But still an opportunity now for the Schoolboys Australian side to see what they can do. You think they'll be right in opposition territory within 2 tackles.
Well, backing up for the second time in 5 days is this Australian team on Tuesday night at Rotorua. 26 points to 18 was the final score in that game. Of course, New Zealand could have been even stronger for this game, Monty, with Stephen Masters not available due to a concussion for this game. He played for the junior Kiwis earlier on in the year. That's under 20, and he's only 17 years old. We saw him over here playing for the Dragons in the Holden Cup earlier on in the year down in Hamilton against the Warriors, and he was a big...
He was dynamite, wasn't he? He was explosive. Big future, Masters. It was him come down the short side, Glenn.
Well, it's been picked up ball. Hands just letting down the New Zealand winger there, Jackson Paulo.
It's a shame. It looks like he can run. There's open field with defenders chasing. Go to the line, unable to hand that ball. Here he is. That was Paulo. Big tall lad. Got down nice and low. You mentioned there a couple of handling errors. It has coincided with the rain that's come down now. You won't pick it up on the screens, but it is a little heavier at the moment.
Yeah, certainly coming down. Courtney Tidy is with a sideline. Courtney, you got your brolly out, mate.
One down. Move, 3. One marker, 3.
Well, penalty to New Zealand. We'll come back to Courtney a little bit. Penalty to New Zealand. The rain just gets a little heavier here. And Fida, the Warriors player, is going to kick for the sideline. 9 games for the Warriors this season in the Holden Cup. 14 of the 17 players in this New Zealand team here have played in the Holden Cup this season. So there is plenty of talent spread right across a number of teams. As I mentioned in the intro, only 6 of the side are based in New Zealand. Here come New Zealand with the first opportunity for them. This is Kula.
2 now, move. 1 foot here. 1 foot hold.
You'll know plenty of the Australian players in this side. He's with the Sharks with many of them. Good shift of the ball there is Farmer. Darius Farmer goes close. He's inside the 10 now, New Zealand. The dummy half is Mullaney. New Zealand getting close. Here goes Tyler Slade. Good defence coming in from this Australian team, though, at the moment. And the play the balls are quite slow, too. Well, it's back to Kula again. And Kula will settle it down for the last play here for New Zealand. What is going to be their option on the last tackle here to Fida? And that's not a great kick, is it? And comfortably fielded. Probably should have gone along the deck.
Yeah, it's
in
a
these
poor option. You mentioned the conditions. You mentioned the in goal. It is a very big in goal. So straight away, you've got to think about back-to-back sets. You've got to create some pressure against a very strong defensive line that the Australian Schoolboys is putting out there. Very quick-paced game. Conditions underfoot are good, but now with the rain coming down, it's going to be a real leveler.
Well, it's been spilled there, and that was unfortunate for Australia because their play the balls were quick there, and they're making good meters in that set. A bit of a let-off there for the NZ18's team. Hiroti. Nawani Hiroti.
Markers up, out wide.
2 years in the Holden Cup. He's based at the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Here goes Kula again, big lad, but he's been very active early in this game.
6, move. Hold. Go.
Playing the ball is Slade again. Oh, it's been spilled by Mullaney. He'll be disappointed there. Sean Mullaney from the Cowboys, an 18-year-old who actually got selected in the Queensland secondary schools team earlier on in the year, despite coming over from Glenora originally. Yeah, be just a little bit disappointed there, Monty.
Oh, more than just a little. Ball caught the heel when he was trying to get out dummy half. He knew there was an opportunity that presented down the short side. Just got tipped by the heel once he played the ball and stepped through.
Well, Courtney, the rain is still falling, buddy. I hope you got your brolly handy.
I do, Glenn. It is raining down here. It's really coming down, making the ground very slippery, and also the ball, as we can see, New Zealand lost possession in that last set. Look for Australia to have a strong kicking game and trying to kick long in this next set.
Absolutely, and it's actually been handling who's going to be testing for a little while because the surface is in excellent condition. It's a good carry coming forward right on the halfway line. New Zealand do well to slow that play the ball down nicely there as Teague Wilton plays the ball. This is Smith, Lindsay Smith.
Tackle 4, release him. All the way to me. Go, 4.
Here they go again. Oh, there's a great run. Oh, gee, that ankle tap was... that had to be made on Wilton. That was a fantastic run. In fact, it was Romanis. Now the Aussies have got a good go on here. That's a much better kick than what we saw from New Zealand. And Paulo only just gets there in time to force it for a line dropout.
Well, this difference comes down to game management, kick selection, what you do to end sets. Both teams are very capable of getting it at their own end. But it was this side. It was a great run from Romanos. Geez, only slightly ankle tap, but he fights to get up to his feet and play the ball. Lovely kick there by that man Boyd. Tana Boyd, very good. Now they get a repeat set, see what they can throw at them. A nice long dropout.
Well, it skids off the surface. Oh, was there a slight fumble? There was. Can you believe that? As Zach Lomax knocks the ball on. Wow. Slippery conditions causing havoc there for the Australians.
Well, you look at that one play they're looking to have a back-to-back set against the Kiwi side. Now they find themselves giving over possession a very long way into their own end. Look at that, 16 metres on the fly, and the co-captain. That is Zach Lomax. That's why it hurts that much more.
Well, New Zealand, a big let-off there from that line dropout. This is Tomoko, an Auckland Grammar first 15 player this year. Undecided about what he wants to do next year at this stage. Weatherall, the Manly Seagulls player. 22 metres out. As away goes Mullaney again, gives it out to Tavita. Nice angle run coming back there. New Zealand will play this one.
Keep coming. Short side.
Riki it was. Mullaney again. Kula passes the ball this time to his front row teammate, Kilma Tuolangi.
Go 4.
Mullaney again keeps it on this left edge. The big rangy Darius Farmer, hard man to bring down close to the line. The Gold Coast Titans player, just a few metres out from the Australians' line. Mullaney again. Here goes the kick through from Paul Turner. Another knock on. That was a much better kick that time, option from the Kiwis.
Yeah, it was the right idea. I thought he had a bit too much weight on it, but that man again coming up with it, Zach Lomax, a mistake. He was there to try and diffuse the situation. I don't think it was the best kick. Maybe it was weighted so I was going to bounce back, but this guy's having a bit of a problem start to the afternoon. The co-captain, Zach Lomax.
Well, New Zealand,
And again, guys, second race with each other.
position A1, right here.
On your toes here, Harley. Okay, heads down.
Turner to feed the
Heads down,
scrum.
put it in. I'm going to take the shot
Paul
back here.
Turner.
Out.
They keep it on the right to Vita. Oh, to Vita! Great tackling again from the Aussies, though. Keep them out.
That man Lomax too making up for his back-to-back errors. Great save from him.
Certainly was. Oh, Tuilangi has spilled the ball, and the Aussies fire up when they need to now. Plenty of feeling in this game early.
Oh, you can hear it, you can feel it. A lot on the line.
Yeah.
We mentioned what it's like when you get these two sides going at it.
Take them, Dylan.
They
take
are the
them away.
yardstick.
You're the captain.
Now, referee
Campbell.
Shane Rem wants to
Clear them, please. Dylan, take them away.
have a chat.
Campbell.
Just detecting maybe
Campbell.
a little bit of
Dylan.
adrenaline. But too much adrenaline on
sorry,
both
Zach.
sides.
Oh, are you acting captain at the moment? We have both sides running in, giving guys facials when they make a mistake. If that flares up, that's going to go against you. We need to cut that out now. Both teams, I don't want to hear anything from you right now. Both teams cut that out, we'll have a good game. No, I don't want to hear it. Scrum here, Australia ball. Time on.
Well, lots of feeling in these young lads. All of these guys 17 and 18, and it's...
Over here, guys. Here's a mark. Here's a mark, please, guys.
And the pride of victory means a lot.
Yep, Kai Rodwell coming off his line. It wasn't the contact which dislodged the ball, it was the line speed.
Okay, put it in, stay there, back.
Managed to just take his eye off it, losing possession.
Yeah, Rodwell, one player, number 8 for the Australians.
Up now, make
also
the line and hold.
in the New Zealand team. There's 3 Rabbitohs out there. Graham, Hiroti and Rodwell. 2 in the Australian team, 1 in the New Zealand team. Australia running it off their line effectively here. This is Campbell Graham, of course, who's played first grade. The only player in this game today with NRL experience. Campbell Graham wearing 2 for Australia. He played 5 games
for the
Rabbitohs, including the round 24 clash against the Warriors at ANZ Stadium. Now Perham running back alongside Jackson Paulo here. And Perham it is, handling the ball, not far out from his own line, and the Australians will love to force an error here.
Yep, Boyd's kicking well. Not only did he put them down deep in their own end, but he came up with the first tackle. Then he comes out to the wing, he marshals his troop, getting them off the line. Line speed is important. Defence is key, got to transition well.
Paulo, Mulaney again. Here comes the other winger. This is Hiroti, Mawini Hiroti. Good quick play. The ball has New Zealand on the front foot nice and effectively. Here is Zahn Witherall. Driven back in some strong defence. That's excellent tackling there. Smith involved in that tackle for Australia, as well as Zach Lomax. Now to Fida. Looks to keep it low, and again it's nicely trapped this time by Dylan Smith. And Smith coming forward from the back again for Australia.
Plenty of numbers. It's good down there to chase a kick. So we see the Australians getting back onside now. A few of the big boys struggling, still finding their way back there.
Well, fitness could be a key in this game as the rain has stopped for the meantime here at Trust Arena. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of the first of 3 games here on Sky Sport. And this one, very good morning to our good friends across the Tasman who will be watching this game on Fox League right now here on at Trust Arena. Now for Fida plays the ball. See if this kick can force Perham back. It's going to hold up in the end goal. It is.
Great kick.
It was a wonderful kick. Now Perham, he's done superbly to get out of there, Monty.
Oh, he sure does. His team was in all sorts of trouble. The fact that he could get out, and now he finds his team on the front foot after that aggressive chase. Backpedaling, great work by the Kiwis.
Oh, they've done well in 3 tackles to get out beyond their 20, almost to the 30. That's a great run from Hiroti. Some prospects in these 2 teams, let me tell you. This is the other centre, Matt Tomoko. New Zealand coming off their line well. Each time they've come off, and there's a little bit of space on this right edge this time. Here's Hiroti again. It's Bronson Xerri with the tackle that time for Australia. Now to Vita on the last play. And Australia coming back again. Well, not much happening in terms of the way of line breaks or tackle busts going on at the moment. We're in an arm wrestle.
Yeah, they really need to set up well for their last tackle kick options. Maybe have 2 options there. The play the ball's got to be a lot better. That time the kick pressure come through and took Tavita off his game. It was a poor kick to finish the sets after the great work from his boys to get them the right end of the field.
The Australians play it through Wilton. You can see on the field now is Swana Hufanga for New Zealand, wearing 17. Here come the Australians with a place. Good front-on tackling there. Gee, for Fida, you wouldn't want to let him wind up number 12. He looks a really good athletic player. There's a nice little kick onto the turf. Perham's in a bit of trouble. Well, it's at the corner flag. New Zealand probably a bit lucky to get away with that one.
Off the Australia foot. So we got scrum, Australia ball.
There hasn't been much between the 2 teams. Obviously on the scoreboard that shows, but Tana Boyd and what he's been doing, it's been electric. You see him going to the line right there, just putting it through, kicking chasing, putting pressure on them. Now, if that ball had not hit the post, he would have been there to score, to try and jump on the opportunity that presents. He's been good today, Boyd.
Yeah, Boyd, excellent player. Be at the Broncos next season.
Line with each other. Australia, line with each other, seconds. Second row.
Under-18s halfback for Queensland.
11.
In the origin clash with New South Wales earlier on in the year, which went right down to the wire. 35-28, it ended up being to New South Wales this year. Now here's Lomax. Oh, here's an opportunity on the left for this big, rangy left winger of the Australian team, Ethan Parry. Lomax trying to strip the ball off him.
Just wait, thanks.
Referee Shane Rem's not going to allow that one.
Tackle one.
Big opportunity here for the Aussies.
Just relax. Just relax. You'll be okay.
Fire and brimstone.
Wait for me. Wait for me.
Continues to dominate this game from both sides. New Zealand come off their line as Lomax. No holds at all for him there. Penalty to Australia.
You've gone in below the knees. Third man in.
Dangerous tackling coming in from this New Zealand team on this occasion.
Wait. When you're ready.
Aussies through Schneider are going to keep the pressure on here. Ooh, solid connection coming in there. Very good tackle from Riki. Oh, he's lost it. He has lost that ball and he's got a touch. Judges call to referee Shane Rem.
Well, I thought there may have been a hand in there, but still, he started off with a very direct and powerful run to be met by three defenders. We have a look now. I think they had a play at the arm, not the ball, so they're entitled to do so. Opportunity lost for this Kangaroo side. Kai Rodwell be a little disappointed.
Well, that has been a feature in these first 19 minutes. Both teams making errors when they've got the opportunity to score points.
Just got to relax a little and get into position and let your halves put you in the right spot, and just trust that if you run your lines, do what you need to do and hold on to possession, that's going to be enough to get the first points on the board. Those first points are going to be important today.
Oh, Harris out there wearing 15. That was a good little nifty run from Sean Mullaney, the hooker. Let's go back down to Courtney Tidy. Courtney.
Make the line. Hold.
New Zealand have made some changes. We have Harris on and also Hufananga looking to add some power to the pack. They're looking great, and the New Zealand boys looking for a repeat set here.
Well, the bounce just goes Australia's way. Thanks, Courtney. Near thing there for the Australians, but again, they come away with the ball. It was Parry who was Johnny on the spot. Yes, Harris, another player coming through the Eels system at the moment. A lot of players on both sides coming through the Sharks, the Eels and the Panthers system. Across to Tasman.
Hold. Go. 3.
Seri is one of them. He's at the Sharks now. Here's the other Shark, Teague Wilton. Just inside his own, or the New Zealand 40. Here goes Boyd on the wraparound. Play on is the call as Tanner Boyd taken 28 metres out. Australia dominating territory in these last 5 to 10 minutes. Now for Fida with the kick this time. He probably should have run the ball there as Perham. Again, in good position for New Zealand.
He's been good, Hayes Perham. He's been able to diffuse all the situations that's been put in front of him. But also likely with the ball in hand, the Piqueo Jr. down there in Rotorua.
11.
He's doing very well, isn't he? No errors, and there's offside play against Australia, and New Zealand get a relieving penalty here. Quarter of the game gone.
It's your responsibility to be onside. I'll call if I can. It was the whole line that time, including 11. He got involved.
Zach Lomax again questioning the decision. Dylan Tavita. Running the show at number 7 in this game for New Zealand. Warriors Holden Cup player. Oh, it's been lost. That's been lost. And that is going to be Australian ball this time. Few errors from both teams creeping in right now.
Well, it did well, Jordan Riki. He went up by himself, and I don't think that was a wise move. Then he took on multiple defenders. He still finished the better out of the guys in terms of going forward, but you can't do anything right if you don't have possession. And that seems to be the problem right now with both these sides. They get into position, They get a chance to get out of their own end and they come up with a fumble. They just relieve the opposition of all the pressure that they've been building. It's up to the side now that can just put a few sets together and just relax and just calm it down a bit, play a bit of rugby league. They will probably score the first points.
Just a bit of composure needed from both teams, arguably, here as Lomax right on the halfway line. Almost dropped by Schneider, but in the end, that's a good settling down run from Smith. And there's an offload, but not really gained anything from it there, Australia.
That's 2 now, release it.
Schneider plugs the left edge, and Zeri it is. Nice offload from Zeri, but New Zealand, good defence on Ethan Parry. What's going on here?
Where we go? Dylan, where you go? Where you go? Hey, Dylan, where you go? Hey, I don't need you. Just for the touches. Just, where you go, please? Dylan, take him back. That's all right, mate. Just give me. What'd you see?
The play was clearing, no interruption, and then 5 struck into her face on the way up.
5.
5 holding
Which
the
team?
ball,
Which team, mate?
Play, 5 wasn't.
Penalty against Australia for striking. Right, out here, guys. You listen to me. Where, number 5. Where's number 5?
Let's have a look here. It's going to go against Australia.
On the way up, we've got you striking the player. We need you to leave it out.
Okay, Parry has struck out there. It looked like a bit of a facial going on there, Monty, from the New Zealand player. Parry not impressed. Should have been a penalty the other way around, eh?
Yeah, I think so. It was Fida who had his hands all over the opposition there early on when he was in a position to play the ball. And the touch judge caught the retaliation. Unlucky Australia.
That's right, the touch judge on that far side probably couldn't see Tavida's initial. He would have been obscured. So New Zealand get away with one there. Good carry there. That's Riki again.
Give him space. Hold here. Hold.
See why the Broncos were interested in Jordan Riki. Good carry coming forward from Tyler Slade here too. That's 2 hit-ups of the highest quality right there.
Release it, left side. Hold. Go. 2.
Very good runs. Here come New Zealand. Let's see what their fluency like is out back here. Well, it's a tough one for Jackson Paulo to carry. It was right around his ankles. Ambitious play not rewarded that time.
It is, you know. I mean, it's time with the possession, ball in hand. Get in position to give yourself a good kick and try and get a back-to-back one at that. Probably trying a little bit too hard. Not being able to pick that ball up. It's been a fast-paced game, though, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's been very, very competitive and even so far.
Just over the top. Over the top, thanks, mate. Arms over the top. That's rugby. Heads down, guys. Don't go early backs. Yeah, put it in.
So it's going to be Boyd to feed the scrum. Away comes for Fida again.
Can carry the ball, can't he? No relation, but very similar to the Fidas that we've seen play.
Well, he was the captain of the Kebra Park High School team that won the national title in Australia just a few weeks ago when they beat Westfield Sports in that grand final. Good carry coming forward here too. Nice run there by Hayes Dunster. Another one coming through the eel system. Solid connection coming in. Good solid tackle coming in from Darius Farmer. Been impressed with him, wearing 12 for New Zealand in this game so far. Boyd. Here comes Smith in from the back line. Again, an excellent tackle coming in from Weatherall there. Stop that potential attack from Brewing. Very good tackle. That's a nice play from Schneider. Here goes Graham. Graham. Very close to the line. He just can't quite get there. And that is the end of that set. And that is the closest we've seen to a score in this game.
Oh, he looked very good. He was carrying multiple defenders. He almost got there. I'm sure he was only about 5 centimetres away. It's a nice little short side play from the Australian side.
Well, Australia, very impressive. Here goes Farmer again.
He's been good.
Yeah.
He's been good defensively and with the ball in hand. As you see, Australia transition well. And watch the line speed now.
Darius Farmer, originally from the Hibiscus Coast here north of Auckland. And based on the Gold Coast for some years now. Now New Zealand come forward here through Hufanga. the Warriors player. Tavita, another one there. Here's a good run by Jordan Riki again. And he's really created something here for New Zealand as they burst over the halfway line. Good quick play the ball required here. And it's come from Tomoko. That pass just halting the momentum. A little solid tackle midfield there again from the Australians. Mulaney gives Fida a good shove in the back. Now, Tavita's kick hasn't probably gone the distance he would have liked, and that's nicely taken by Lomax.
Once again, a pour into a pretty good set. They came a long way out. Dylan Tavita not quite getting where he needs to be, but in saying that, his kicking game's been off, but he's been throwing himself around defensively. He's been doing a lot for his side, but his kicking game needs a bit more of an improvement. Maybe you need to look for another man within that team to take some of that pressure off him.
Dunster plays the ball, doesn't really look like he's a halfback, does he? Actually has had some experience on the wing, Dunstan wearing 7. This is Sean Bloor, who's out there now, starting the game from the interchange. It's Boyd, bobbles the ball, here goes Tanner Boyd on! He had a man open on his inside wing, I need him. Graham has slid in to score the opening try for Australia, and a ripper it was too.
Well, you mentioned that name, Tanner Boyd, so often today, and every time you mention it, we get excited because of the speed that he's so good with. He just chimes in the line, uses acceleration, kicks well. You see he had an option on the inside. Have a look now. He plays down the reasonably short side, comes off the right foot, beats him with speed. He did have a pass on the inside, maybe a little bit behind, didn't want to wait. He puts a kick through, and that man, Campbell Graham, is there, the co-captain, to score a try. He was only centimetres from scoring it in the previous set, and this time now he shows that he could get there pretty much the same spot that he missed out on before.
Yeah, superbly gathered there by Graham. That wasn't easy to grab and keep control of in these slippery conditions. And the first score of the game has finally come in the 27th minute. Campbell Graham, the man who's played 5 games for the Rabbitohs at NRL level, debuted against the Dragons in round 22. Player of huge promise. And an Australian Schoolboys player last season as well. Now, Zach Lomax lining up the conversion attempt here. He was 5 from 5 on Tuesday night. A very good goal kicker. He scored 186 points for the Dragons in the Holden Cup this season, including 77 goals. Zach Lomax knows how to kick him. Lomax has nailed that one. Great kick from Zach Lomax. Australia leads 6-0 with 11 minutes to play in the first half.
Well, you mentioned he can kick, he can also lead too. He's been in Shane Ream's ear the whole time, talking about what he needs to do as a referee. We come down that short side again. Here he is, Boyd. Love his injection of pace. Graham has to do a little bit. He had to beat the chase, get around them, and then get nice and low for a tall man to score the try. You mentioned he played first grade. That's probably why. A great talent, good build too for such a young age.
Well, Mulaney takes a spot on the bench. Joseph Taipati is out there now wearing 14 for New Zealand, a dummy half. I saw Luke Huth out there as well, the player from the Knights. That's a great run from Bloor. Sean Bloor, big robust lad coming off the bench. Fida's next up. David Fida, damaging runner.
2 runs to the 50.
He'll be at the Broncos in 2018. And now Lindsay Smith, 3 tackles, and they're on New Zealand's 40. Great set of 6 coming on from here is Huth. Well, he didn't quite time his path. It's been picked up beautifully by Perham. And that is very good play from Hayes Perham, who won New Zealand's best so far in this game.
Oh, he's been looking good. Got to think the Australian side were looking so damaging, jumping on the back end of the momentum. 2 very strong, powerful runs. Dummy half pops out, but he wasn't able to put the ball into hands. Great defence then, getting off the line, making a stop to some of the progress that the New Zealand team was making.
Glore it was off his line very quickly indeed. Yes, Hayes Perrin repeating he's going to be a Warriors player next year, and they're throwing him straight into the off-season training regime of the first grade side, Monty. Straight in there.
It looks like he can handle it. It looks like he's got all the ability. He definitely looks like he's got a work ethic from what I've seen today, and I wish the kid all the very best.
Now Turner has the ball. Turner takes the line on. Boyd's got him wrapped up alongside Glore. To Fida into dummy half, nipping it through their tight party, and that kick has gone straight to Lomax, and Lomax again, the kicking game on the fifth play from New Zealand questionable so far in this one, Monty.
I think it's been a difference. New Zealand side struggling with that. Obviously they're trying to get a few more options out there as we see what they have to do in defence. But Boyd for me has been the difference. He's been really commanding the opportunity to kick the ball for this Kangaroo side and doing a fantastic job.
You caught him high. I know you didn't intend to, but you caught him high.
Second time in the game, Shane Rem, the referee, has penalised New Zealand for high tackle. Nothing malicious in there.
Zach, last warning on the spray. I've got another one. I don't know who it was. If I catch him, I will take the ball off him. Right?
Well, Tavita it was the man penalised on that occasion. Only one try in this game so far. It's certainly been very competitive. Not much in this. Remember, New Zealand have not beaten the Australian Schoolboys side since 2013.
Up now! Oh, here, go.
Here come the Aussies again. Strong carry.
They're full of running, aren't they?
Oh, man. What a run that time from Wilton. In fact, no, that was Lienu who got it through. Here comes another try for Fida. David Fafita being one of Australia's best so far in this game, and he deserves a try, and he's got one.
And it's no surprising that the man who gave him the ball, gave him the try assist, although he had some work to do, was that man Boyd. Very good for Fida. When you get out to an edge, when you isolate defenders and they're big and strong, like Fafita, he's very hard to stop. But it's Boyd once again. He's got the run around, the no-look pass, the nice unders line. Then he's still kicked out with a bit of pace. The defence got to come across. Look at this, beautiful. He sighted him up. He could see it was going to happen. But Fafita, nice unders line, kick straight back out with some pace.
Well, Fafita's try, a very good try indeed. Got a try on Tuesday night as well. And they beat the New Zealand 18 select team, 26 points to 18. Fafita will be at the Broncos next season, and a product of Kebra Park State High School, of course, that well-known league nursery on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, he's been working out.
Two players from that school in the side here today. The other, Tanner Boyd. So that was schoolmate to schoolmate for that try.
They know the combination very well. As we see if that man Lomax can keep his 100% kicking record while he's on tour with this Australian Schoolboy side.
Yeah, Lomax, a product of Victory High School in Wollongong. Pretty much from the same spot that he converted Campbell Graham's try from. No breeze at all to contend with today, but he hasn't struck that one as well. So the score will remain 10-0 with 6 minutes to play in the first half of Fafita. Getting the Aussies out to that nice buffer.
I wonder what was set behind the post as we have a look at this try again. Boyd to Fafita. I'm not sure Fafita thought he was going to get it. I think it was going to be the decoy, but the chance of him getting a late, he still had the ability to run that line and then kick out again. Very good. See if the Kiwi side can answer back just before the break.
Well, they need to find something. Monty, what are they lacking at the moment? They really haven't had any massively number of try-scoring opportunities in this game.
And that's the key. They really haven't been in a position to really try and score some points. You know, they've been kicking, they've been getting down as far as 20, but when they get to that position, there has been no attacking kicks, or no kicks that could put a bit of pressure on them. Oh, great shot. Dylan Tavita.
Good coming, good backup tackling from Riki there.
Strong tackle, strong tackle. Go.
Very good tackle that time on Jesse Cronin. No relative to Mick Cronin, by the way, folks. Jesse Cronin, originally from the Hunter Valley, but coincidentally is at the Eels now. Here goes the Australians again. It's the try scorer. For Fida, no, it's not. It's Wilton again. And there goes the last play this time from Boyd, and Perham hasn't put a foot wrong at fullback so far, and Perham beats a couple of players and start the set 9 metres out from the line. Weatherall passes to Paulo, and Jackson Paulo, 18 metres out from his own line.
Yeah, attacking kicks that the Australian Schoolboys have been able to put together, thanks to Boyd, and the territory they've been making has been the key today. Put them in a position to score some points. For the Kiwi side, you haven't had many chances at all, whether it be ball in hand or kicking for your wingers or kicking to score some points, and that's where they need to really make amends in terms of getting a better result at the end of their sets.
It's good hands on that previous play from Peter Holler. He's come over from Townsville to play for New Zealand in this game. Now that kick on the last play drives Dylan Smith back, and that's good hands from him as Smith comes forward again here for Australia. Asked some tackles straight away there of Farmer and also number 6, Paul Turner.
Up now, Marcus. Left side, left side.
Boyd slots into dummy half on this occasion.
15.
10-0 the score. Tries to Graham and for Fida for Australia in this first half. 0-0 for 27 minutes. A great offload there, and away comes Australia again, but that's good chasing by New Zealand that time. Riki working hard in this game on that right edge in the second row. Here's Lomax.
Tackle 4. Release him.
In fact, that was Wilton that time. Now Boyd hits the line nicely. Oh, there's a burst through by Fafita in the offload. Well, not able to be handled, but that was looking promising again for the Australian Schoolboys side.
No advantage there, guys.
And it's going to be
a
scrum to New Zealand.
Kiwis ball.
What about the feet on Fafita when he caught the ball? The ability to move on catch. That's what catches defenders out when they think they're coming on a single line to try and defend it. Look at this. The change ever so slightly on the catch was all the difference that was needed to beat them. And then obviously the big power and stability that their man possesses was enough to get through. He's one to watch.
He's having an absolutely fantastic game. And that's play on. That's playing a very good scrum from Australia, trying to push New Zealand off the ball. Shane Rem right there, ruling no knock on by New Zealand. Maybe a bit fortunate on that occasion. Big gang tackle coming in here.
The energy levels are really being upped by this Australian side.
There's a good run from Tavita. That's pinched 10 metres and driven the Australians back a little bit now. Nicely done by Dylan Tavita, and he's got his team a penalty as well.
Well, they need to hurry up and kick that ball out. They need to get onto this now. They're wasting time. It's only minutes before the break. Don't know why they're slowing it down for.
1 minute to play until half-time. Well, it's been a tough first half for this New Zealand team. This Australian team has been superb on defence. Now, what questions can Darius Farmer ask of this New Zealand of the Australian team? And he's done a good job there to ask a couple. But Fafita answered nicely as Fafita sneaks it away from dummy pass. Slipping in the tackle was Harris, Valence Harris for New Zealand. Turner. Riki heading out towards him. Perham, good hands from him. That's good play. Here's Hiroti. Hiroti! Yes! Mawini Hiroti has scored for the New Zealand under-18 side.
Glenn, I do not know how he did that from where I was looking on and seeing what he was about to do. He was covered. There was plenty of defenders there, and I think it was some beautiful footwork by that man, which got him across the line. We'll have a look now. They come out the back. First real chance they got. Nice sleight of hands, quick hands here, but look at this. And in a way, beautiful work on the captain, Zach Lomax, to score that try. Look at this once again. Look at this. It's one-on-one, in and away. That pace off the mark. Didn't even need to change the ball back. He knew what he had to do. He had to get low and score the try. New Zealand are back in this, Glenn.
Mate, he exploded like he was jumping off a mini tramp there off that left foot. Mawini Hiroti over for the try. And this is a nice irony, he was playing for the Australian Schoolboys last year.
Well, there you go. So some of these boys have seen their footwork, but in different colours.
It was a much-needed try for New Zealand. Horoti, originally from Taranaki, and now Tavita is going to attempt to convert this try, and it was right on half-time as well. So a very important score there for New Zealand to keep them in touch with this Australian Schoolboys side, which has been very impressive in this game so far. So here's Dylan Tavita. 4 tries and 3 goals for the Holden Cup side, and Tavita has missed that, but not by much, and that is going to be the end of the first half. A very good half of football between these two. It is 10 points to 4 to Australia.
Ezra, a great game, a half of footy, only 6 in it. What do you see in the game happening?
It's just been a little bit of a few errors here and there, but I think it's just in the second half we just need to make sure we can limit those errors and make the most of opportunities in their half. I think we'll be all right.
And that's what you'll say to the boys in the sheds at half-time, fire them up a little bit?
Yeah, I think we will. I think we'll make sure that we just, you know, we're going to get limited possession, and if we make the most of it, we should be able to get some opportunities out of this. So I think I'm just going to talk to the boys about that, just make the most of our opportunities in their half.
Good luck. Don't go anywhere. The second half coming up right here. Australian Schoolboys 10 over New Zealand under-18s 4.
The present A rush be positive and provide balance and not on the ground. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention to these service announcements.
between Aussie Schoolboys and NZ18s, and Tanner Boyd's been influential. Beautiful kick through here for Campbell Graham to score the first try in the 27th minute. That was converted. Australia led 6-0. Boyd has been instrumental in the second try as well. Lovely pass, and his Kebra Park High School teammate David Fida extended the lead to 10-0. Right on half-time, check this out. Great hands here from Perham, right there, and then again out to Hiroti, and then a step left as defender for Dead, and Mawini Hiroti, originally from New Plymouth, over to get the score to 10-4 to Australia at half-time here at Trust Arena. Stephen.
Mate, first great half of footy that the New Zealanders started off very strongly right from the get-go with that haka, which didn't surprise me. The men in the pink had to separate them pretty quickly. The one thing that stands out from this game, Tash, quite simply, Tanner Boyd and the way he is controlling this whole game for the Australian Schoolboys.
He's a bit of a workhorse too. You see him all over the field, on attack, on defence. His kicking game has led to 2 tries already.
They are playing a very simple game, though. You've got big men running at shoulders, not into players, as the young Kiwis are doing.
I think that's the difference there, is that the Australian big boys are running in between players at the moment, whereas the New Zealand boys are running at players. Unfortunately, they're not getting the go forward that they need in order to break the line.
Execution by both teams has been something, but you heard the coach of New Zealand say that's what he'll be talking about, just getting execution right. 2 more games of footy to come if you're watching Sky Sport this afternoon. It'll be round 3 of the New Zealand Rugby League Premiership. Akarana, the defending champions, will face the might of the Canterbury Bulls. It's a good old-fashioned one, that one. Auckland against Canterbury, well, Akarana against Canterbury. And then the Counties Manukau Stingrays against Waikato Prems. Who goes through? Who goes through? Akarana, I think, goes through to the final. Who goes through, do you think?
I'm thinking Counties. Counties are going to go through. Okay. It will be another Akarana Counties final, just like last year. Very physical.
Very physical. That's what we like. That's what the great game of Rugby League is all about in Rugby League World Cup year. And don't forget the grand final tomorrow night live as well. Second half of the internationals between the 18s coming next. Stay with us right here.
Well, second half not too far away from starting here between the Australian Schoolboys and New Zealand under-8, or New Zealand 18s it is, from West Auckland. 10 points to 4 the score. Let's get the reaction now of the Australian coach Tony Adam to what happened in the first half.
Tony, a strong first half from your team. What was it in the sheds?
Look, we just wanted to keep building pressure. I think good ball control under the conditions and playing field position. So it's not going to be anything fancy today. It's just the little things. And once we're in an arm wrestle, it's about playing down that end of the field.
Good luck and go well.
Thank you very much.
Tony Adam, the former Melbourne Storm under-18 Academy and Development coach. Second half underway here with the Australian Schoolboys leading by 10 points to 4 against the New Zealand 18s. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here from Truss Stadium in Henderson. Try scorers for Australia so far: Campbell, Graham and David for Fida, and Mawini Hiroti scoring for New Zealand right on half-time. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here on Sky Sports. Some great defence coming in from Australia there. Wow. 10 points to 4 is the score. And good morning too if you're watching on Fox League right through Australia. Australian Schoolboys looking impressive, particularly defensively in that first half. All of these players either 17 or 18 years of age. Marty Beetham alongside me as New Zealand hit the halfway line. Marty, what do you think the New Zealand team need to do heading into the second half?
Well, they've got to put themselves in a position where they can score some points. Even when they scored that try, the only of the first half, it was Hiroti doing some wonderful bit of individual work to really score the try. It wasn't really on, so they've done well to begin the half down the right end of the field. Now it's about them trying to keep the Australians here and then get the opportunities. It's been a good first half, and I'm looking forward to what the men off the bench have to give or contribute when they come on, and also what the guys out there now with the rain sort of fading a little bit.
And what about the Australians as well? What do you think is the priority for them?
Well, I think they need to do pretty much the same as what they did in the first half. I think they'll be the information half-time. Stay what they're doing. for Fida as to team up with that man Boyd again. Their combination they've got at club level. And obviously holding the ball, Glenn. Now the Kiwis get an opportunity early on.
Big opportunity here as Tavita. He's offside that play, but it's play on at the moment. Referee playing advantage perhaps to New Zealand as Tomoko is driven back. Tomoko gets up and squeezes through. There's opportunities here for Tavita. And there's the try early in the second half. And it is Tavita who goes over Dylan Tavita. And New Zealand right back in this one. It is 10-8 with the kick to come.
Well, Coach Ezra Howell would be very happy. So will the players in the leadership group for this young Kiwi side. And in particular, that man, Tavita. You see that drop on then. Clean mistake then. He won't be happy. Is Graham. But they came here. Dylan Tavita, he knew. He spotted the gap. He showed. He came off the right foot. Man came across. The two-hand carry, superb. And he knew he was going to do enough to get over. He's been working hard in the first half. Kicking game needs some improvement, but he's been everywhere for this young side of his. And that was a good try to get them right back in this match now and put the pressure on the Australians. Hopefully they can draw level with this conversion to come.
An ideal start to the second half there for New Zealand. And Campbell Graham dropping the ball. Very uncharacteristic.
It was cold too. No one in front of him.
Well, New Zealand were 10-0 down after 33 minutes. And now after 44 minutes, they have the prospect of being dead even with the Australians. And he can't do it, Tavita. So it stays 10 points to 8. Handy conversion missed there by the try scorer.
Well, the belief you get when you've scored the last 2 tries, you really do grow a leg. Look at that. Dylan Tavita jumps out. He knew there he was going to dummy off. He saw the gap on the inside. He steps off the right. Does a bit of a spin and a turn. And claps his hand. He's happy.
Well, there was no marker there for Australia, of course, because they were behind the play. Just one of those unfortunate things. And Tavita, good enough to take full advantage. As Peter Holla from the Cowboys plays it. Tavita, the try scorer. Now Harris. Valence Harris will know plenty of players in this Australian team. He's coming through the EEL system, as several of the Australian players are as well. Hula getting slowly to his feet, copping one over the back of the head perhaps. To Moko. Hula still struggling after that hit. Inside the 40, the kick is a little wobbly and misdirected right down the centre. It bounces kindly for Smith. This is Dylan Smith. And Smith will start this set 32 metres out from his own line.
See now what Australia's doing as they're presented with some good line speed from the Kiwi side. Oh no! He did it again. Campbell Graham, second touch of the ball in the second half. Second error from the man who's had first grade experience. A great first half, but it's all turned to dim viewing at the moment. If you are a Campbell Graham fan.
Oh, he just knocked it onto his knee, and his knee knocked it out of his hands. And that one was fairly clear that time.
Get your head in there. Don't worry about playing.
Nothing 50-50 about that one. Now, New Zealand got an opportunity here on their own halfway. I tell you, it was a bit messy at the scrum. Not for the first time in this game for New Zealand.
Here we go. Hold here. Hold. Go.
Tavita. Harris. Harris. Good carry from him that time. Slade it is. Hopping off his left foot is Holla again. And New Zealand starting to look more likely with the ball as Holla offloads the ball. And he slots into dummy half here too. Here comes Slade again, Tyler Slade, inside the 10. Now, New Zealand's kicking game was questionable in the first half, the quality of it. Let's see what it's going to be like at the end of the set. Needs to be good as Turner. That's a good option onto the deck. Good hands by Graham that time. And it's going to be a line dropout.
Well, that's the best end of a set of 6 I've seen from the Kiwi side. And it's no coincidence that the second half, that it's happening after 2 tries. He thread the needle well after some good work from the forwards coming up. You mentioned the forwards, their bench have been superb. Taipati, Harris, Holla, what they've done since coming on to contribute to this young Kiwi side and what they're doing. See what they can do now with this back-to-back set of 6.
Well, it was Hayes Dunster in the end. Oh. That is just about unforgivable from Paul Turner.
Wow.
Here's the mark. Back here, guys, on the line. On the line, please. Just back here, guys.
Well, that's exactly what happened to the Australians early on in this match, and Turner just, you've got to give a little bow peep.
Oh, he sure did.
Well, New Zealand dominating this first 7-8 minutes of this second half.
Out.
Perhaps undoing a little bit of the good work there was Paul Turner with that unforced error.
Yeah, an opportunity now for Australia to come out and be relieved by some of the pressure that this Kiwi side were building. It's a real shame because they need to come back into this match still trailing by 2 points. Give this Australian side a chance now. They've got plenty of good players.
Here's Wilton poking through the gap. He's from Endeavour Sports High School. Huge league nursery in Sutherland. He goes Boyd again. Look out! Tanner Boyd's got the gas to go all the way. Well, 2 try assists in the first half and now a try in the second. And the Aussies are over for their 3rd try.
From the moment I've seen him on that field, injecting himself into the play, whether it be with ball in hand or defensively, he's a lively character. Boyd, Tanner Boyd, has been good when you see him come across. He just knew he was drifting across the field. He had a look, showing the ball, 2-hand carry, beats that man coming out of the line in Wetherall, and the pace is good. But the worrying factor with this is also on the chase coming across is Hayes Perham, and I noticed him limping, so whether he's picked up an injury coming to the rescue or trying to tackle that Boyd, we're going to soon find out. That will be a huge loss if that is the case. But Boyd, plenty to celebrate.
Yeah, wonderful game from Tanner Boyd, the Queensland under-18s halfback from earlier in the year, Kebra Park State High School. Born in Penrith, but moved to the Gold Coast when he was just 2. And a huge prospect for the future. The town of Boyd, and he's going to be at the Broncos next season. A wonderful pickup for them.
Oh, he'll suit the way they play to a T.
Well, that was a good strike back from Australia after the try to Tavita just after half-time. Now Lomax. All 3 tries scored down the right. And it's gone over. Lomax converts the try. Just eases Australia out to an 8-point lead early in the second half, 16-8.
Yeah, look at this. Boyd once again, ball into hand, showing inside, showing out. Had too much pace for Turner. Caught him out. Great try. And I think we saw that man hobbling out the back of the pitch right now. It's going to be a shame. Hayes Perham looks like he's going to leave us now and won't be out there, and he's been good for this Kiwi side.
Yeah, Perham limping out of the game with what looks like to be either a hamstring or a calf strain. Big loss there for New Zealand for those last 30 minutes. They've lost their fullback, who's had a very solid game so far.
2-15 release.
Lenu it is playing the ball here. Strong carry coming in for the Aussies again. So with Perham's injury, that's going to force quite a reshuffle as Huth nips away from dummy half. That's a very good tackle coming in there from Ariki. That could have been catastrophic for New Zealand. There's a sloppy carry, and it is Spencer Lenu who has dropped the ball. Let's go down to Courtney Tyree for an update.
Thank you, Glenn. The rain is starting to set in here, so it's very slippery conditions as we saw in the first half, and as you saw just then with the incomplete set. So look for teams to go to their kicking game.
Perham takes a seat too. Big blow there for New Zealand. Hayes Perham, the fullback, out of the game.
Arms around, guys. Heads in. Heads in. Okay, put in. Out.
So off New Zealand come the back of the scrum. Joseph Taipari, it was off the back. This is Farmer who's dropped the ball, and that's been an error. In fact, that's been a part of the game that has been problematic for both teams.
It has been in conditions, obviously, majorly due to that. As we see, Perham probably not going to take much further part in this game, but we'll find out from Courtney very shortly. She'll do the work for us down there on sideline as we see a scrum being set now. That has been the problem, Glenn, the fact that they just can't really string enough possession together the right end of the field so they can really cause problems for this Australian side. Both sides are very good defensively, got plenty of attack in them.
So Australia get an opportunity on the halfway line here is Graham. Campbell Graham.
Tackle one, release him now. Right side.
40 metres out from the New Zealand line. Huth into dummy half. Good carry, that's a good carry, isn't it? Over the 30 they go, the Australians. Very good carry by, it was Wilton that time. Bloor head down. In fact, that's Lenu again. He's been good off the bench, Spencer Lenu. Rugged customer. Now Boyd, the try scorer. Boyd's got it back again. They've got to tackle Boyd for Fida. That combination working a treat between the two Canberra Park State High School players in this side, and the combination works again, and for Fida over for a double.
When you get a running halfback and one with speed and vision, for that matter, goes to the line and asks questions of defenders, that's where you want to be. He's been brilliant. He loves a run around, does Boyd. You see, once again, he puts himself in the shape. Now, normally you see this guy on the outside. He'd probably come off the wrong line for Fida, but he still stayed on the inside, stayed where he was with his initial line, and then Boyd was able to find him. It was the same sort of setup previously. Calling for it, Boyd drawing in the defender, and for Fida, once again, geez, this kid promises so much. Great shape, big boys. He looks up and blows a kiss.
got a try. We're going with a try for now. Just leave it out, all right? It's a good
I
game
can
at
just see
Late shot.
Hiroti being warned
Late
there for that late shot on Boyd.
Yes, Joe. It's over here, guys, under the post.
Well, the try, of course, being given for Fida's second try, and 20-8 is the score at the moment. Now, a lot of work for New Zealand to do. 10 minutes ago, Monty, it was 10-8 to Australia.
Especially with this Australian side being full of so much running, led by Boyd. He's been good. He's got so much options out there when he goes wide, when he goes to the line. So guys hitting holes inside and out, which frees him up to do what he needs to do.
So Lomax it is with the simplest attempt of the afternoon so far. And there is the goal, 22-8. Let's go back to Courtney. Injury update, Courtney.
Yes, Glenn, New Zealand have lost their fullback. He copped a knock to the shin and is suffering bone bruising, and he may not return for the rest of the game.
Well, that's interesting from Hayes Perham. Well, what now for New Zealand 18s? They've plucked away and certainly given their effort in this game, Monty, but errors plaguing their game at the moment, and Australia taking advantage. Comes a good carry of the ball. Off the back fence was Romanos. Very good carry from him. Errors for Fida. Damaging runner. Unbelievable player. Really is going to be interesting to watch. Now Leniu next cab off the rank. Already at the halfway line, just about the Australians. Huth at dummy half, the Newcastle Knights player. Now Boyd kicks early in the tackle count, and that has forced a reshuffle at the back. Of course, Hiroti now at the back, and Hiroti is going to be driven back into his own end goal. That is just about the perfect set of 6 from Australia.
Well, you mentioned game management, seeing what's in front of you. 3 direct, powerful runs. Got them in a situation where the Kiwis were backpedaling. So Boyd steps up once again, and he puts them, or tries to pin them back in the end. But even better than the kick going out, the kick stood there. And look at the chase coming through, plenty of them. Game management, getting numbers, knowing when to kick, knowing when to hand possession over to the opposition, and then turn defence into attack. And now they get the ball back.
Another point there, Boyd just on shot there. How good was that kick from Boyd to stop it just inside the end goal? Now Leniu, oh, gee whiz, Spencer Leniu, Panthers SG ball player. Fantastic hit up again from him. Here's next cab off the rank. It's Cronin, Jesse Cronin this time. Good quick play, the ball has Huth up and running. Getting close is Bloor. Sean Bloor, just a fraction away from scoring the try. Huth, he's come on and looked very good from dummy half, wearing 14 for Fida again. Boyd. Here come the Aussies looking very good again. Nice shift of the ball that time from Wilton. And Australia 5 metres out. Huth at dummy half again. Boyd with that last kick this time. Oh, it's another try. How good is Tanner Boyd? And this time it's Cronin over for the try.
He has got it on a string. Brisbane Broncos, you've got a wonderful talent coming to your club. Love everything I've seen from Boyd today. Can do it all. Passing game, running game, kicking game, long and short. We just saw them get this repeat set from a great long kick which stood in goal. This time he just showed you what he could do with a little delicate touch. As we had that man coming off the bench chasing through, Jesse Cronin, to score a try. He knew what to do. Get down on the ball, bounced high, and he beat Turner to score a try.
Tanner Boyd, MVP of this game, absolutely no doubt about it. And Jesse Cronin the try. No relation to Mick. Jesse Cronin originally from the Hunter Valley, but does play for the Eels, Jesse Cronin, and goes to the Hills Sports High School in Seven Hills in Sydney. Another fantastic nursery of league talent. 4 players from that school in this team today. And now Lomax from right in front. And the Aussies really racing away with this game now. That's 3 unanswered tries in succession, and Aussie, the Australian Schoolboys, out to 28 points to 8. Boyd's last tackle plays have been superb. Let's not forget that kick in the corner that drove the New Zealand player back into the end goal, and that created the try opportunity from there. Oh, hits the line strongly again.
Now with me here. Marcus good.
The Aussies certainly have their tail up now. This is Dunster. He's wearing 7, but he has experience on the wing, and he's
right side, 9.
It's where he's playing right now. Hayes Dunster. Parry it is, who's earned his team a penalty. Ethan Parry.
Well, they're being blown off the park, aren't they? The speed of the play of the ball, the contact, the collisions. Australia are winning them all. If you've got no petrol in the tank, being starved of possession, it's only going to get worse. 20 minutes to go in this game.
On the line, guys. On the line, Dylan.
Well, Australian Rugby League, as good as it's ever been at this level, it seems, as Bronson Xerri looks to get to his feet quickly, and he's earned his team another penalty. So Australia, rather New Zealand's discipline, letting themselves down a little bit at the moment. Xerri it is, takes the quick tap. Bronson Xerri, big strong lad, wearing 3 here for Australia. Huth again. Cronin to Boyd. Smith in the line. Here's Campbell Graham. He got the try in the first half. No space from that time, though, Campbell Graham. Wilson. In fact, it's for Fida. Look out for David Fafita. He'd love a third try. David Fafita. Huth again. Boyd tries to marshal things up again. Big questions on this New Zealand defensive line again. As Rodwell plays the ball that time. New Zealand holding out, but there's the pop pass. It's another try to Australia. No, it's been called back.
Well, Dunster thought he did all the hard work.
You lost control of it before it got down.
Showed some good feet. He was there to take the ball in the end.
We'll have scrum here, Kiwis ball.
Not able to put the ball down. Kiwis ball now, and come at a really good time. As you see, look, able to keep that ball alive when he went down. Dunster with the footwork. Oh, you can see that ball just bobble back a bit. Not able to force it.
Well, Shane Ream, the ref, was right there, and he had a good view of that one.
He's had a great game, Shane Ream, and of course he's had plenty of banter or chat within with some of these Australian boys, keeping him on his toes the whole time.
Yeah, Zach Lomax, top of that list so far in that area of this game. Well, Hayes Dunster went very close to scoring there. Hard luck for him.
Tackle 3, 15 out. Yeah, make the line.
Playing the boy there, Riki. Haven't seen much of him in the second half. Good solid tackle coming in there from Spencer Lienu.
Don't lock him in. Hold, go, 4.
Tavita it is, just outside the 40. Will find touch.
Well, probably the right thing to do at this stage of the game. Got to make sure they're talking on the way to the scrum. What can we do? How are we going to lift? What plays are we going to come up with to try and get our way back into this game? Although it doesn't seem like there's too much talking. Of course, you know, they've withstood a bit of pressure from this Australian side for the last 10 to 15 minutes. So it's just trying to consolidate and throw some more back at this Australian side.
Don't go early.
Don't forget, folks, if you're watching on Sky Sport throughout NZ, there's going to be 2 more games for you this afternoon here from Trust Arena. 2 games from the NZRL Premiership, Akarana against Canterbury. Coming up at the conclusion of this game, and then later it's Counties Manukau up against Waikato. Ethan Parry driven back. Scored 5 tries in a game of SG ball this season against the West Coast Pirates. 5 tries in 1 game.
2 now, move.
Goes Graham playing the ball. Dunster. Over the halfway line goes Hayes Dunster. Just
Left side.
Denied a try a moment ago.
3.
Huth doing a good job. Tummy half to Fida. Hits Teague Wilton really strongly. Wilton big enough and strong enough to shrug out of it as Boyd looks to create a hole for Cronin again. Couldn't find one that time, Jesse Cronin. Huth. He goes to kick on the last play from Lomax. Pressure here on the Kiwis again. It's gone backwards. Taipari has it here for the NZ18 side. Taipari. Well, it's a penalty against Australia. The referee had called held.
He's up in the air. Do you want to explain it? No, but... Sorry. Hey, you go. Where you go? 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 You don't come at me like that. Sorry, Captain, you can. I'll explain it. There's momentum to stop. I called held, and then they went on a second effort. So it wasn't a one momentum. That's the way I've seen it. That's the way I called it. That's your opinion. This is my one. Wait, yeah.
It's been good, Shane. That opportunity there, we had a number of guys coming at him, and he said, "No, look, I'm not going to talk to you." Actually, it was the captain. I apologise. Come back here. I'll give you your due respect. Very good, Shane Reed.
He is a very experienced ref in the New Zealand system. And of course, the end of the Auckland final this year in the Fox Memorial Club Championship got a bit feisty towards the end there between the two teams. I thought he did an excellent job to quell what could have been quite an explosive situation. Oh, some keen defence coming in here from the Australians. Very keen. They are going to play this game to the 80th minute.
Look at the line speed. They're catching the Kiwi runners on overs line, which means they're easy pickings. You've got to straighten up, or you've got to come back on an angled run to stop this happening.
Taken as Tomoko. Not much space for him in the second half. Very few opportunities. As Mulaney gives it out to Tavita, and that's beautifully picked up by Dunster. And Dunster will start this 5 metres inside his own half. Just to explain to Campbell, Graham was captaining, or was questioning Shane Rim on that last play as well. There are co-captains in this Australian team, he and Zach Lomax. A little nip and burst there from Dylan Smith. Huth. Oh, Fida hit strongly that time by Fine Kula, who's back out there. Boyd, wow, it's gone backwards. Referee says play on. Here's a big bustling run from Leniu again.
Square up and hold. Don't go early, hold, go.
Goes to the school that Dylan Watene-Zalesniak went to, and Andrew Fafita as well. Great kick on that last play. And the Aussies have done it again. And they drive Hiroti back into his own in goal, and it's going to be another line dropout.
Well, Hiroti was doing the right thing. Was able to get back, get that ball and bring it out. But, geez, the Australians that were there in numbers,
wait for us to get set, Dylan. Hang on.
Although winning by a big margin, showing enough urgency to get back and really put the pressure on. It's been a great display by these young schoolboys from the Australian side.
They've looked fantastic in the second half. Sluggish to start the second half with a try to Tavita, which had the score at 10-8 at that point. But since then, the Australian Schoolboys team have been awesome, haven't they? Boyd at the thick of everything, as is this fellow since he's come on, Spencer Leniu. He's dropped the ball that time, though. And it's stripped out of his hands that time, and it's going to be more possession for Australia.
Great call. Leniu has been awesome what he's done. Actually, both sides have been pretty good off the bench. I mean, Australia's been dominating, and Leniu comes on with so much energy. Just refusing to go down, that time playing at the ball. They get another set to try and repel.
Zeri, Bronson Zeri, 8 metres out from his line, and it's Huth. Romanos goes close, very close. Mulaney and Farmer in there, wrapping him up. Here comes Lomax out to Wilton, and Teague Wilton. Good composure shown by Australia here as they look to just ease themselves further clear. Well, Cronin had a big gap, didn't take it. Here goes Boyd again. And Tanner Boyd over for a second try. He takes full advantage there of some questionable defence in Australia, 32-8.
All the best players are in and around the action and where you're meant to be. If you're not, you miss out. Boyd, he has been instrumental today, and the reason why this Australian team has done so well. He's had many assists. Defensively, he's been good. He's been kicking strong. This time, he just knows where he's meant to be. He was the back door runner. He was meant to get it. Still, there's a bit of poor defence there, and I think it was Farmer who had the opportunity, and he had his back turned, and Boyd, speed once again, in good position. Sort of like second phase play there. Split defenders, and speed comes up trumps once again.
Bang, bang, bang right there. Australia 32-8. Well, we can't say enough about Tanner Boyd. He's made every post a winner in this game. Here's Lomax again. His goal kicking's been very good. He's only missed the one shot this afternoon in this game with 10 minutes to play. Zach Lomax from the Dragons. New South Wales Under-18s Player of the Year, winner of the Brad Fittler Medal.
Yes.
Lomax continues his excellent goal-kicking form. He was blemish-free in the first game between these two sides earlier in the week, and he's only missed one here. 34-8. Australia really making no race of it in the second half. That is 24 unanswered points, 4 converted tries in the second half. And this guy has been in the forefront of everything. Scored 2 himself, and I think he's had a try assist in all the others. Well, he did 2 for Fida and 1 for Jesse Cronin as well. In fact, he has. Here goes for Fida. Oh, Lomax. Oh, out it goes to Siri. Wonderful try.
Well, it's all a little bit embarrassing for this young Kiwi side. They've been under the pump, no doubt about it, but there's no way you should let players run like that with ease, getting through the defensive line. The push was good too, but you can't be playing in an international and letting that happen. Look at Fida. He comes side on, a couple of poor missed opportunities or attempts at it, then reaching out once again. Plenty of numbers in the picture for the Australians, and the speed. Look at that. Let him go. Bronson Zeri scores underneath the dot. Fida did all the work early though. Poor arms tackle there. It changes the ball to the other hand with a beautiful pass. Plenty of numbers and speed. The side been very enjoyable to watch and commentate today. See live this young Australian Schoolboys team play, and I'm sure over the years you'll see some of these names pop up, become household ones at that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Bronson Zeri there, an under-16s origin rep for New South Wales last year. 11 games for the Sharks and SG Ball this season. The beaten finalists by the Eels, 11 tries. So we got over the chalk plenty of times this season. And here's Lomax from in front. Lomax converts it, in Australia 40. New Zealand 18s 8. Rather disappointing from a New Zealand point of view to see them fall away like this, Monty.
It is, but it just shows you that you have to be in this game. You've got to be contesting all the parts of the game that are important: possession, completions, attitude, the collisions, the ruck, and they just haven't been on song. There wasn't much breaking them up with about 42 minutes into it, but then Australia just showing their class, and right now it just really trying to embarrass the Kiwi boys. Let's hope they finish strong. We don't see too much defence like the last sort of efforts.
And that's the thing, isn't it? You know, any Australian team, no matter the level, is just going to keep coming at you and keep coming at you and keep coming at you. That's with and without the ball.
Relentless. That's the word you're looking for, Glenn. and that's what we find. But when you got relentless attitude and ethic with speed and X factor, it's beautiful to watch.
Well, Cronin it was with a huge bust there. Here goes Boyd. Lots of runners through. Dunster just couldn't get the bounce of the ball. Score yet another try, but again, Australia sweeping forward very impressively.
Well, they made 100 metres with ease too. They get out of dummy half, looked in and caught the ball on unders line, went on an overs line straight away. And the fight to play the ball nice and quick. And Boyd just showing that he can chip while he's on the run just as easy as he can do any other kick in his bag of tricks today. Still talking to those around him. Great signs for a halfback.
Well, heads have got a lift for New Zealand for these last 5 minutes. Just 2 tries scored on the day to Hiroti and to Tavita. Hayes Perrin was influential, but we saw him depart the game at the 50th minute mark, and New Zealand have really not been able to adjust at the back.
That's 3-16 move all the way.
But that hasn't been the major reason why New Zealand have lost. Now Tavita tries something. Are they going to get the bounce? Not going to get the bounce of the ball that time. And Australia have their hands back on the ball through Parry. Here goes Zeri, the try scorer, that wonderful breakout try. Schneider back in at dummy half now to finish the game. Parry handles again. Ethan Parry. Declared for 18 on the wing. Their wing is a massive. Campbell Graham and Ethan Parry. Smith it is. Lindsay Smith. Rangy lock forward from the Penrith Panthers. Back to Schneider. Here's Boyd again. Back to his mate for Fida. Don't know how many tackle busts he's had, but that one right there was a great shot. And it was one of the smaller New Zealand players, Tavita, buried him.
Look, he's tried hard today, Dylan Tavita. That's not in his job description, but geez, he came in, he saw the ribs, he saw the target area, and he put his shoulder in there to try and get ball possession back for his side. He's been good today, a little bit indifferent at times with his form. His kicking game has been a little bit off, but his attitude, his want to play a part in this game and put his team forward has been exceptional.
Yes, Tavita, 9 games for the Warriors in the Holden Cup this year, 3 last year. Still only 18 years of age, of course, makes him eligible for this team. Yes, New Zealand just don't have the damaging runners consistently through the game in the forwards, have they? At times we've seen Farmer look useful. None of these New Zealand players have been consistent enough through the game as Hufanga plays the ball. Another one here is Slade, similar to Farmer. Good hands. Now Riki has it. Scraped to the ground by his opposite there, Teague Wilton. Riki. Now Tavita tries to put the spiral bomb high. Oh, that's come off the foot. Is it going to bounce for that Kiwis player? Oh, he didn't get that bounce there. That's hard luck for Jackson Paulo. Could have been a try for Paulo there, but...
Yeah, well, he dived, and I thought he got in the area or vicinity of the ball, but there was no hands on the actual ball. Maybe he was a little bit off. Did well.
Well, it would have been a boost for the New Zealand team as Dunster, wearing 7, playing on the right wing at the moment. Tavita says, well, the referee says Barnum's got a call from the touch judge now.
Take it easy, Dylan. Touch. 9. You will be the one sitting there. Walk away. Just relax. Take it back.
Well, a committee meeting. Let's go back to this one again. It came off Paulo's foot there.
Yeah, he did well to get it on the end of his shin. Oh, it was the knee that stopped him that was coming through. Jeez, good work from both Kiwis and the Australians to defuse the situation.
Yeah. Harley, can you come on?
Shane Ream tries to put a stop to this with only minutes remaining.
Just need you as a witness, mate. So, Shane.
Right there.
Okay, I can see a red mark. Can't see any. Maybe, yeah, maybe, maybe there's some evidence of some slight teeth marks.
Right there as well.
You can see it red. Right, that's all. So it's on report. Right. We're going with the original knock on. It's a scrum here, Australia ball. Touch, thanks, Harley. Well, we can't rule on that.
Yeah, sorry, what was it that was on report?
A bite. There was an official allegation of a bite.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it?
Kiwis. So that's...
Well, the allocation has gone there. Fida is the player.
There's a scrum here. Australia
He's
ball.
questioned who's going to be the player put on report for that alleged bite.
Yeah, I think it was Kyle Schneider who was the man making the allegation. You could see his hands was around the face
Time on.
of Dylan Fida as he came in. He went straight on it.
Put it in.
It was the farm, and look at that, hands right around the face there in that area. And you'd think that if there's any truth to the matter of the red marks on his hand, that there was a perfect and prime time to get it done right there.
Well, we'll let that be taken care of off the field. For Fida, gee, he and Bird have just been phenomenal in this game.
Watch it. Keep an eye. Hey, Trey, release him. Bring me here.
Serian is playing the ball. Lindsay Smith goes close for Australia in this last minute of the game. Hiroti hangs on for the NZ under 18s. Cronin it is, bounces out of a tackle from Hiroti again. Of course, moved back to fullback when Perrin went off injured. Schneider gives it to Boyd. One last try assist for him, perhaps not to be. And it will be a line dropout. Nothing Zahn Weatherall could do there.
Don't know, mate. Must be just about finished. Anytime now. Just listen out for the Huda, thanks, Harley.
So that'll probably just about do it. Tough day for Zahn Weatherall, the Manly Seagulls player.
Well, stay behind.
And a Boyd player of the day. Well, very tough between him and Fida for me. It was the last play, was an attempted field goal. But in the end, doesn't matter. Far from doesn't matter. And it is Australia with a very impressive second half performance who have romped away with this game here at Truss Arena. And the Australian Schoolboys win over the New Zealand 18s, 40 points to 8. 7 tries to 2 it was for Australia. They led 10-4 at half-time. And it was 10-8 shortly after half-time, but then the Australians just ran away with it. Let's go down to Courtney Tyree for some after-match reaction.
Zach, congratulations, a convincing win. How did it feel out on the park today?
Unreal. No, it was definitely a good, solid hit out by the boys. We come back from playing a few error football last game, but I guess we come out on a dry track. We just tried to play flat and fast, but the boys really stuck it to them, and yeah, we come away with a good win.
And this is the first time these two teams have met. How was it coming up against the Kiwi side?
Unreal. It was definitely a very tough game. They got a lot of line speed. They're very aggressive, but I guess it was good from our boys just to rip in. Yeah, it was just good that we got the job done anyway.
And good to put over 40 points on the board.
Yeah, unreal. I guess that just comes off the back of a real good camp, real good boys, good coach and staff. But yeah, that was unreal.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, 7 tries to 2 it was. Let's go back to Courtney.
Dylan, a tough game. How did it feel out there today?
Yeah, no, it was good. Good wrestle in the first 40. I think it was just to the back end where we started to fatigue, and yeah, our boys just started to fall into the trap of the discipline area in the game.
And did you expect that coming up against an Australian side?
Yeah, always knew it was going to be a tough game. Coming from the ditch, they wouldn't want to lose coming over. Yeah, and I think they put up a real good match.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Dylan Fida there. 7 tries to 2 it was. A couple of tries to Fida. Wonderful performances from several other Australian players, including Lomax and Boyd, of course. There we are. It is all over here in this game, and it is the Australian Schoolboys beating New Zealand 18s by 40 points to 8.